Imagine losing your child. God forbid, you would say. But that's what happened to at least 2 parents by official figures, or 20 parents by investigations and what we saw on live video at the Lekki Toll Plaza on October 20, 2020. While we're being distracted by the CBN governor asking the MD of Aboki FX to come out and fight, the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry on EndSARS has suspended sitting indefinitely. Ebun Olu Adegoruwa Hassan says the panel is being frustrated. The chairman of the panel, retired Justice Doris Okuobi, announced a suspension on Saturday, 18 September 2021. She said, "There are 2 reports that we're expected to work on. We're not close enough to any of them. We cannot continue with the sitting and end up the assignment without concluding, so we'll not be sitting from today." The panel was supposed to submit its report next month. Its initial mandate was 6 months. That mandate was extended for an extra 6 months. The panel's sitting was suspended barely 7 days after a forensic expert from Sentinel Forensics Limited, Joseph Funshaw Ako, presented a report of the forensic investigation conducted on the ammunition presented by the Nigerian Army at the panel. He told the panel that the samples of ammunition presented by the Nigerian Army matched bullet shells recovered at the Lekki Toll Plaza. 2 panel members representing EndSARS had withdrawn just a few weeks after the panel was constituted because one of them, Ms. Olarinu's account, had been frozen by the government. Not long after, Ms. Olarinu left absolutely, saying she wasn't going to be a part of the panel that sought to cover up the truth. I personally didn't have high hopes that this panel would find anything. The army claimed it was invited to dispel the crowd by the Lagos State government. With a panel set up by the same government indicted? Well, aside from monetary compensation, no one is going to go to jail for the murder of those unarmed protesters. Will there ever be justice for the dead? Imagine losing a child that way. Once again, God forbid. Okay then, riddle me this. Would the army have been invited if the president's son was in that crowd? Or the vice president's daughter? Yet, a few people still ask that we show them the bodies or a massacre didn't happen. Shame on you. If you lose a child like that, will you be waiting for the army to come and show you bodies? At the panel, a widow still looking for her son, who was allegedly at the protest grounds, spoke. Now, the Lagos State lawyers, Abiodun Owonikoko and Olukayode Enitan, made an application before the panel requesting that they be allowed to bring in 2 expert witnesses from the UK, and the panel has to wait for that. Why weren't those experts invited to the panel 11 months ago? They said they weren't allowed, and for justice and fairness, all evidence should be allowed at the panel. Nigerians are not stupid. We're just a little afraid to die. So we complain under hushed tones and deny that the government killed its own citizens that had the guts to come out on the streets for weeks. Tyranny is not new. Why Nigerians continue to enable one tyrant after the other is what befuddles me. Aside from the paid government minions who sell their conscience for a morsel of bread to escape the pervasive poverty in the land, why do the rest of us enable tyranny? To avoid being killed? Oh, okay, we prefer to die by hunger than be felled by a bullet. Former CBN Deputy Governor Malafia just died. He spoke truth to power and died being the voice of the voiceless. When you die at 120 years, what will you be remembered for? Suffering and smiling? Local office thief? Or maybe just a docile citizen?